Hey there. Everyone, anyone, I don't know who I'm sending this to. I just decided I would finally make a video and show y'all what I've been up to for the last, I guess 3 months. And don't worry, I'm not becoming a YouTuber. I'm only gonna probably post this on YouTube to just to get out what I've been doing. It's a little easier. My phone's cheap and it's gonna have a lot of pixels, so I just thought I'd give you all a tour of my land. As you can see, I'm kind of in the countryside here, so this is my driveway, and I'm not going to be showing this mug the whole time. Probably going to be ending that here real soon, just because, yeah, y'all know what I look like. I guess I have a beard now, it's bigger. Probably look rougher since the last time you see me, but that's what the country will do to you in life. But yeah, I'll give you the tour. So this is where my place starts, and let's go for a walk. So I'm just gonna show you here. So yeah, well, actually I'll give you a little backstory. So this is maybe I will show my face because it's probably weird just me showing you a driveway. So um when I got this place, it was just covered up the grass about like up to here, and I had a well on it, 10 acres, bunch of trees, and I don't know, just last 3 months ago, I finally started working on it. We're trying to move out here, Amy and I, my wife. I think most of y'all know I'm married. If you don't know that, I'm probably not sending this to you. Um, yeah, and I've just been doing a lot of work, and the first thing was getting a driveway, because when I first came up here back in June, I was carrying a trailer, and I got stuck on the driveway because it was just rained, I didn't have any traction. So it was then I knew that I needed to put down some gravel, and so we have a driveway now, so that's pretty cool. And as you can see, there's lots of trees around here. Probably the pine tree was the only tree that I actually knew, and maybe a juniper tree. The rest of these I had no idea what they were, so I've been studying trees a lot lately, and it's kind of like a passion of mine. I think it's so cool to just know the trees you have, what they're good for, and I'll give you a tour of them. So, all right. So, obviously, this is the Ozarks. So we have tons of oak. So we have acorns, red oak, white oak. The white oak are actually better to eat. There are less tannins in them. So I just learned that. The hickory trees that will produce a nut that is edible, and I'm looking forward to harvesting them. Okay, so we come up my driveway and give you a little panorama here. So I'm not sure how the lighting is. That was the first thing that I built. Had some help with that. That was my shed. I knew if I was going to be doing a lot of trips up here that I needed to have somewhere to store my stuff, and I couldn't be bringing up saws and everything else without having somewhere to protect it. So that was the first thing that I built. And there's probably some flies in here because I let some peanut butter out. But give you a little look inside. So this is where I do my cooking. It's pretty basic. Just a little gas stove. Keep some of my food over there. Cans. I realize that canned goods is the way to go. Because it's really hard keeping colder food. I rely on a lot of fruit, so there's that. And just another working bench and a lot of my tools, more storage. There was a portable air conditioner, my climbing gear, a little generator, water distiller, a lot of power tools, obviously. And yeah, that's what I got going on in here. And so that was the first thing that I built. And originally I was staying right over there where that big dead spot of grass is. But then I realized it's not nice waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning because of the sun and not getting any shade. So eventually, I built that. Well, not the tent, the platform. It's nice. I felt like seriously like a huge luxury just getting off the ground. And the tent's cool because I get to stand up in it and have a little couch in there. I'm not going to give you a tour of that. It's just pretty basic, but have a little mattress in there, my clothes. And yeah, just being off the ground on something elevated, it's pretty cool. I have a solar generator in there. I just see the solar panels, and I'm able to have a fan. And when it was really hot, I would hook up the portable air conditioner and cool it down for just a couple, like an hour. And that was a luxury. This is actually, I take it back, this is the most important thing on the property. This is my well pump. And you can't be on a homestead, you can't be out anywhere without water. And that thing's pretty cool. It's hooked up over there to my generator house. That's where I store my generators. And if I ever need water, okay, I just hook this guy up. It's super easy. So my well house can only store about 11 gallons of water at a time. So after a while, I mean, it should have some right now in it. Let's see. It's on low. I have a little bit. Let's see. There you go. I'm not turning it up all the way, but if I did, it would really crank up. So I basically shower here. Also, again, another luxury, just not being able to stand not on dirt. Like, that was necessary building this thing. That is where I do my laundry. I'm sorry, my camera work is horrible. I don't really know what I'm doing. Again, I'm not being a YouTuber. I'm just showing you how to where I'm living. That's where I do my dishes. That's where I dry my clothes. And I actually do need to do a few dishes. So there's that over there. Oh yeah, so back to this thing. Yeah, after 11 gallons is used up, all I have to do is go over here, and I flip this switch, and then I push that button. It turns on. It powers up the well pump, fills that back up, and then I have water. So, I mean, it's not like turning on a faucet where it's unlimited, but right now it's working. We're gonna have something more automated where I don't have to push a button every time it runs out of water. That's in the works of us getting that, and that's really gonna be determining when we move here full time. Is when that's here. We initially try to get it in June, and that got pushed back to July, and then August and September, and now it just keeps getting pushed back and back. So we'll see when we get that. That will determine when we move here. Y'all willing, that'll be soon because I'm ready to move. But yeah, there's raised bed garden. We're going to be gardening over here in that section. That is where the house will be. Our eventual house. We'll probably have an RV right around here, which is where all the gravel's for. Got to work on leveling that out. And, oh, this is a super cool thing. Just to add a bonus, when you live out here, we have wild persimmons. They're starting to ripen. You see that guy right there? Persimmons are one of my favorite fruits, so I'll be definitely looking forward to those. And those guys are the male persimmons, which I have so many persimmon trees here. I mean, few female, a lot of male. Well, the males don't produce fruit, so I'll probably be having to clear those out. Not because I, have something against the male trees. It's just because we need that's going to be where our house is going to be eventually. And then there's all these like random trees here. Well, I don't know if you can tell, but there would be an amazing view over there. You can't really tell, but there is. And all I have to do is clear out some of those trees. I've been really hesitant to clear out trees just because, you know, some of these are really nice trees. These are oak trees, hickory trees, and they'll turn into something wonderful. So I'll cut them down when I know for sure it's going to be gone. This tree is definitely going to be going. That is called a princess tree. It's from China. It's invasive. And if you're not careful, that thing can take over your property. And I don't want that to happen. I didn't know it was invasive when I built the shed. Had a little bit of help with that too. Because when I chop it down, it's going to be hard to not let it land on my shed. It should be okay. I'm not too worried about it, but we have a tractor. My neighbor has a tractor, George. I do have a neighbor. He's somewhere down that way. So he's cool. He's helped me out a few times, like when I got stuck, and he has that tractor, so if I needed to pull down that tree, I would be able to do it, chop it down, and the tractor will help so I don't crash my metal shed. Okay, so yeah, I mean, today is day 55 that I've been here. Probably 45 days of solid work when you count Shabbat and travel days. Yeah, 45 days is about what I've done. Some of y'all might think that this is a primitive existence and I'm camping basically, but I actually think that I'm living large. So this is where I'm at, my Yeti. You know, basically it's about done. I'm going home tomorrow. Yoo-hoo! Good to see Amy. Haven't seen her in 3 weeks, so it's been lonely out here. I'm super excited to see her. Yeah, and so yeah, that was my little area where I keep anything cool. So as you can see, it's run off ice. It's not very sustainable. I don't keep a lot of cold food because of that, because I don't like having to get ice every time I need to, you know, preserve something. So, all right, here's the most recent addition. You're probably like, where does he go to bathroom? Well, I did build an outhouse. So, there's that. I think it's pretty cool. And it doesn't smell because I have this stuff here. Every time you go, you just sprinkle this on top of wherever you go, and it's it's just compost, and it's awesome, and I like doing that. And it always seemed kind of crazy to me to get a septic when you're having to do something that, you know, naturally just breaks down anyway. All right. So yeah, a septic tank never seemed like something I was interested in. I love the fact that I have a wife that's down with the composting toilet, outhouse. So that's a blessing. I want my main thing out here is I want her to be as comfortable as possible. I can live. I could live like this for. Minus when it's 5 degrees outside, I could live like this forever, probably. But, obviously I would want something more for myself, a nicer house. But I don't want her to suffer like I suffer. So I want her to be comfortable. But she's down with an outhouse, so I wanted to make sure that it, looks nice and it doesn't have smells, or it's cool because the hole's really dark. I'm not going to show you down there, but if I showed you down there, you wouldn't see anything because the hole's deep enough. So every time you lift the toilet seat, you're not even seeing anything. You're not seeing what someone else did. All you have to do, you take some of that cocoa mix and you sprinkle it down there. There's no flies, there's no smell. It's awesome. It's way better than a septic tank. Okay, so we have a huge little path down here. We have 10 acres. I've barely scratched the surface on this place. you know, so much of my time here because there's chicks, tigger, not chicks, ticks, chiggers, um, horse flies. There's like everything that you can imagine that can bite you is here in this state. And but the ticks and the chiggers are these like really tiny. You can barely see them, and if you hit a bed of them, like 50 of them will be crawling up your leg, and they itch really bad, and you can barely even know they're on your body. So, but they love tall grass. So because they love tall grass, I've been going to war with this place since I got here. Every time I go away, like I go back to Houston to see Amy, and I do a little bit of work down there. I have PTSD from the first time that I came here, and that grass was that tall because that was a hotbed for ticks and chiggers, and I was just itching like forever. So the way to combat that is to keep the grass low. Obviously, I do spray a bit, but really it's about just keeping the grass low. And if you keep the grass low, um, they won't be an issue. So, I could have had more standing structures. There's all these other things that I plan on building, but I haven't been able to do that because so much of my time I'm trying to keep the grass down. So that takes a lot of my time. And I do clear trees also. There's the princess tree. There's another Chinese sumac. It's called the tree from heaven, which is not really like, I think it's like it's not really what some people call it. They call it the tree from hell that will not die, the tree from Sheol, because it's really hard to kill. It's not from here, and it grows really well. I have a few in the back. I can point them out to you. Thankfully, I don't have a ton, but I have taken down a few of them. And yeah, so I'm just trying to reclaim this property back to its, the way that it was, the way that Elohim, God originally designed it. And that's what I've been doing, is just working at it bit by bit. It's a process. It's hard by myself. But I love it. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Don't feel sorry for me. I'm actually so happy out here. Just the fact that, I never thought I'd have something this nice, this much land. I've been able to do all these awesome projects. And it's funny now because I make less money now than any other time in my professional career. But I'm more blessed to have more abundance of this stuff. I don't know what the word for it is, but I just feel, I don't know. Jehovah has been good, very good to me, and I believe because that has just done with going away from my past life. Those that have known me, that how I used to be, and I was not fearing the Most High, and just getting on and keeping His commandments. It's amazing how things start falling in place, and it's not hard. Um, you know, Amy and I were talking, like, the inheritance of His people. There's one thing that is a sign that if you're His people, what do? If you're obedient, you keep the Sabbath. And keeping the Sabbath has been, some people, they don't really understand it. I take one day off, you don't work, you don't buy or sell, and you just be at home. And it's not that complicated. It's not like, maybe what kind of man-made traditional religions have turned it into be. It's not that at all. It's a day to be at home with your family. You can go out and fellowship if you want, but it's really just abstaining from work, and it's showing to our Creator that you're being obedient. And so by doing that, like, I don't make the money that I used to make, but wow, I have like so much more abundance now of all my dreams are coming true, of like having this potential at a homestead. And I don't believe that would even happen if I was living my old ways. And yeah, that's number one. So, but yeah, let's I want to show you the rest of this before it gets too dark. So that is my little goat shed. I'm not finished with that. A lot of these projects, I'm just piecing them together. Like this top here is put together like 3 different sheets of plywood that were basically scrapped. You know, this is all scrapped here. I did have to buy the 4x4s, but everything else is just scrap wood that I had laying around, and I'm just trying to be more resourceful. So there will be walls on this. You know, the goats will be in here. I made it taller because the goats always love getting up on top of this, and one of them is a really good escape artist. So if it was near fencing, he would jump over. But you know, if I can move it deeper in there, away from the fence, if I get a little help, then I would like them to get up on top. I'll make them a ramp. Okay, so the goats will be over here. This will be some of their fencing, and this is the chicken area. I haven't sealed it in yet because we still have to get the chicken coops in. Once I get the chicken coops in, all I have to do is bring that fencing over, put 1 T-post in, and then it's good to go. That was one of the hardest jobs I've done. Doesn't look like much, but there was a lot of trees in there. And it's a really rocky soil, and the soil, just driving the T-post in, just wrecked my shoulders. It's really hard to get T-post. Thankfully, the rock it's a limestone. It's a little softer, so I was able to do it. But it took a lot out of me. I should have had the goat area built a long time ago, but I did not because I just don't feel like my body's ready to be driving in T-post. And hopefully that'll change here soon, but I think I needed to just be better with my body. Listen to it a little bit more and take rest. And then once I feel like I can do that, then I'll finish the goat area. And so yeah, this is my place. I think I covered everything. I have mulberry trees. Mulberry, the fruit is actually edible. And there's a plum tree around here somewhere. It just gave off its fruit. It's actually right back there. And they weren't that good, but I think you could eat it or turn something into it if you really wanted to. And yeah, I have a really young forest. That's why there's all this undergrowth. So I will be slowly but surely going through and clearing all that out. That's a dogwood tree. Really beautiful flowers in the springtime. There's the moon, if you can see it. It's coming out. So yeah, I'm going back to Houston tomorrow. I'm very excited to see Amy. Haven't seen her in 3 weeks, which is the longest we've been apart. But there's just, you know, it's a far drive, and when I come up here, I have a lot of things I need to do, and when I finally get into it, you know, it was either too hot, or I just missed her, and I just wanted to get home. But now it's like, okay, I gotta get a number of things done. So this is where I'm at right now. Thankfully, we're in that part of the year where the grass will not become as much of an issue. It should slowly but surely stop growing as we get into fall and winter, and then I won't be having to cut this down. You don't even want to know how I actually really take it down. My lawnmower, I guess I'll tell you, my lawnmower, there's so many rocks out here, you know, if you try to keep it close, because if you don't keep it close, then you're having to mow it every week, and I have a push mower, okay? I weed eat it. It takes me about like 3 hours, but I'm able to get it down a lot closer. I don't weed eat the driveway, thankfully. I'm not breaking my lawnmower every time I go down there. But yeah, all this is about an acre. So you think you have it bad? Don't feel sorry for me. I love this. Okay, I could be out here making a fire, weed eating, building something. You know, it's not a problem for me. All I want to do is to share it with Amy, and then I'm good. You know, like I don't really need a whole lot to to get me going. I'm blessed to have a job that's remote, so I can go into the town. We don't have Wi-Fi here, obviously. Um, yeah, we will eventually, but I can go into town and I can get Wi-Fi and see my students because I do academic coaching now. So, all right, well that is it. Wow, I went 25 minutes. Again, I'm not being a YouTuber. I will send this to you guys, and oh yeah, there's a little composting area over there. It's not really taking off. It's behind that trailer. There's a composting is huge. We don't like wasting our scraps. They're still useful. That is an oak tree. There's, I'm not sure. I think that's an invasive species. I'm not sure yet. Probably there's a couple trees here that I haven't been able to identify. Um, this one is not invasive, but I don't really like it because they just like I just went through there and I just chopped down so many of these like little trees that grow up. And I love the evergreens. The, the the junipers are my favorite. They don't grow very big, but I love them. I do love the oak, the white oak. Definitely are my next in line. I mean, pine's cool too. I mean, when it's dead of winter, it's just nice to have something with green. So yeah, most of my property, just so you know, is like way like it's all in there. You can't really see it. It's just basically 9 acres of woods, but there's still a lot of things that we have plans for. You know, getting bees, and maybe clearing out a pasture. I don't know how that would work. The goats will do a good job of cleaning things up. You know, really expanding the goat area. The more I can give the goats area, the more that they'll clean up all that underbrush, and then I can find out what to do with the land. So I'm open to having, you know, we only have 2 goats right now. I'm open to having 30, 50. I have no idea, whatever we can handle. But I actually love taking care of goats. Amy loves taking care of chickens. So yeah, things are progressing, and hopefully, if I send this to you, well, whoever I send this to, you know, you're welcome to come here. So, but yeah, I'm gonna sign off, and hopefully you like this video. Bye.